Hi guys, welcome to Waikato R50. Here we have a Toronto R50 which has a common issue, which is the lower control arm bushes wear out. So this one here has been failed on a waff. So as you can see, it's these inner bushes just here. See how it's moving around? It's got an assistant shaking it there. So this is a common issue. So this video we're going to show you how to replace these, and hopefully this helps. Okay, here we are. We've got our lower control arm here, and as you can see, I've already loosened off the bolts to the control arm. There is 3 17mm nuts over here. I've taken that one off, but just left those two on there. And there is a 17mm through bolt that goes through this front one with a 22mm nut. And these ones over here on the rear control arm bush are 22mm bolts. So once you've taken all of those out, it's nice and easy. This one here, you don't need to take the ball joint or off the knuckle. What you do is just take these three and it will come out. You can either take it is easier if you take the wheel off. As you can see on this side, I've already removed the side over here, as you can see. That's where the back goes on. And over here you can see this is the ball joint that you don't need to remove. I've removed the tyre just because it gives you a bit more room. So yeah, so easy as that. And once we've removed that, we will replace these lower front bushes. That's what they call them, because that's the one that's got play in it. Yeah. Alright, so as you can see, that's our new bush that we've fitted to our control arm. Now, as you can see, just from the other scene, we used a pneumatic hacksaw, or you can use an electric one, just to cut the outer race of the bush. Basically, you want to cut the outer race, but you don't want to cut so far as to damage the actual control arm. So you just need to be very careful and just do it very slowly. And once you've done that, you just we cleaned all inside there, and there's two ways you can fit this bush. You can either put it in a press, which is probably the easiest way, but you obviously just have to, it is a bit fiddly as you've got to try and keep this out of the way, trying to put it in. So but with this particular bush we used a vise, just a really big vise, and we put a socket on the end of the bush here, put grease on the bush, and had the jaws of the vise here with another socket. So and then you just squeeze the vise up slowly but surely, and it will go in. But yeah, that's what you do, nice and easy. Yeah, and that's ready to go back on the car. Alright, so there's our arm. We've just started these by hand, you can tell. Same with those three, we just still need to tighten those up. So yeah, it's all ready to be tightened up now. So just from previous reference, 22, 17, 22, 22, and 3 17mm nuts. So you can tighten these bolts with, you can either use a socket or a rattle gun. Just bear in mind, if you do use a rattle gun, just to double check them with the spanner afterwards. But yeah, the key is to double check all your work and make sure everything is tight. Okay, so we've tightened our ball joint, our 3 ball joint bolts, our rear control arm bolts, and we've left our front control arm bush loose. Now the reason we've done that is we need to lift the wheel the suspension up to its resting height. The reason is we do this is because if we tighten this bolt in a lifted position with the suspension raised or dropped, as soon as you put it on the ground, it's going to cause this bush, the centre of it, to tear out prematurely. So how you do that is we've got a jack here, transmission jack, and we're going to put it under the tyre and lift the suspension up. Alright, so here's our R50, which is lowered down onto the ground at resting height. If you don't have a jack or a transmission jack like we used earlier, you can just lower it onto the ground and tighten the bolt while it's on the ground, but you have to obviously be small enough to climb under there and tighten that bolt at resting height. Thank you for watching our video on replacing front lower control arm front bushes on R50 Terrain. Subscribe to Waikato R50 and there'll be more videos to come. Thank you.